Words. I don't know how to start this. Just welcome to the soloQue podcast where I'm doing things again. Yeah, this podcast episode is currently a little bit later than I would like it have been. Why? Problems with sleep. That's the main issue. I'm trying to see if I can actually make this a I want to say just shorter esque episode. See if I can actually do that one. Not too much to talk about. First thing I have listed here is literally getting things done in quotation marks. This is more relevant to my system of, what do you call it? Not work, time management, product management, all of that stuff management. I'd say it's mediocre. That's to be expected. It's only, believe it or not, I believe not this week, not next week, but the week after. Sorry about that. The week after, not, that was first week. No, actually, it is next week. I'll have to check exactly like dates, but I go by rolling. So at the start of the week is like Monday, meaning that's when I gauge the next week. Well, I know that I started this in the second week of August. Or is it the third week? I just looked at the August calendar, and it actually has 5 weeks in it. It's probably why I never started off with a 5 week tracker for months, because I started out with like the one that actually would have a fifth week is legitimately a I think how to put it, is legitimately a one I just wasn't a part of. Excuse me. But what was it? So that's that. Again, it'll be about a year old, I believe, starting. Not okay. I don't think it is next week. I think it's like the week after still. But yeah, this month in the like the secondary half is when the it will all start becoming, how do you call it, more. I can't think my words through. It'll be a year old. And I'd say for what it's worth, it was relatively successful, but there is a lot more to be done. Like, one of the big problems with the summer was something I'm going to talk about in the next segment. Also, I should probably separate these into actual segments. But it would be also nice to be able to separate by like a jingle. Ding ding. The main difference is what do you call it? Okay. I need to think my words through. Give me just a moment. Okay, so it is a mediocre system. It needs more work during the summer. It just did not. It started falling through because I used to track like 15-minute intervals of time, but I don't do that anymore. I need to think about that. I do need to think about looking at my entire system and saying what is good, what is bad, and what keeps my system, you know, consistent. One, if I'm tracking stuff, the numbers need to be consistent. Although I would like the ability to what do you call it? I would like the ability to track more to say, hey, this is how I can actually tell how productive I am. But I think part of the thing is not seeing how much, you have left over in your backlog. It's about seeing, and also it's not about how much you complete. It's about, just seeing your overall how efficiently you work. And when you first start doing some things, you're not going to be that efficient at it. If you start out, odds are the workload you have will be much less than what you get later on. But at the same time, you'll become so much better at it that odds are when you do ramp up your workload, you still you might end up completing stuff faster. Maybe not always faster, but in a relatively well-paced amount of time. So I can't expect that the first year was, good or the best. But I also can't say that it was that good either. Because again, I am just taking down information. I'm saying a lot of YouTube, which is not a problem. Like, I do think that one part of the productivity thing one part of productivity is doing stuff like if I play video games versus just watch a whole bunch of YouTube. That feels better because I'm doing something different. But just say YouTube, because I'm not trying to say this is the video I watched. These are all the videos I watched. That's too splitting hairs. I don't need to be that specific. That accuracy doesn't help. Just like saying I started at 450. Like I don't care about that. I'll just round it up to 5. But no, overall the main system, and I didn't even start my log. The main system is working as intended. So let's just see. I'm sorry, just give me a second. Sorry, just give me a moment. So 8 o'clock is 20, right? No, wait. Oh, wait, I did start at 8. Sorry, I'm trying to get my times straight. No, wait. So I got 9:28, 43. So 43 minus 28 equals 50. So I did start. Okay. 2021. Sorry. Okay, so there's that. I have to keep track of all my hours, or else this crap goes crazy. But yeah, it's also one of the big things about the stream in general. Is this everything I'm doing is to start doing something, not just doing something for the sake of doing it, but skill building. The whole point of the YouTube channel is to legitimately build, I guess what you could say, skills to completing work. So let's just see. Looking really hard for. That was actually a little bit of a derailment on my part. That's my bad. So the system itself was immediately beneficial, but in order for me to get more benefit, I need to be able to take in and say, I need to internalize, what am I doing wrong? Well, right now I have a bad sleeping schedule, which means I probably should just fall asleep after this and make sure to go to bed before midnight every night, probably even take like pills or something, like normal medication, not like sleep pills, to help establish, normal rhythms of sleep. Um, yes, but I also need to like start more projects. I don't have any like quarter 2. I don't have any new talk about. I have stuff to talk about, but that one was kind of difficult to do. Shoot, now I'm kind of like bleeding into another thing, but the system. Fuck, I'm trying to try to say the system over and over again. I like how I'm doing weekly, and then every something a day, something every day, and then something every week. Which I need to actually settle down and say, well, when's the latest I should have the thing down? I need to start getting into like administrate. I need to start making like actual administrative days, or at least blocks. Whereas like this is what administration time should be. Blocks of when I should be working, and probably minimum number of time. Because I have like a timetable of production. Months and quarters need to be more defined. I think they also need to carry over like some certain informations. Pretty sure I wrote this all down. I actually have to go back to my box and just revamp it. I have to like take stuff that's quarterly, like take stuff that needs to be taken out, put stuff back in, and just start getting the ball rolling again for fall. And well, I don't know if I have too much to talk about for that, but I can roll into the next thing, and it's talking about YouTube specifically. Okay, so as an unfortunate result of what I talked about last week, and the reason why I'm doing this like week apart is because, well, technically this is like the next week, but the reason why I'm doing these a week apart is because I did need I needed to do it. The computer died, so I needed to do an episode of the podcast. But the problem is the computer was dead, so I just couldn't do it. I don't want to derail the actual schedule. Let's see. But the current video, I haven't actually started I've started writing it, and I need to trim it the fuck down. I think it might be 10 minutes long, and I don't think it should be, but it's a vlog. Yes, more vloggy vlogs. I don't think those are inherently bad. I don't want to do nothing but them, but I don't think it's inherently this is a bad form of stuff, because I think people have this unfortunate misconception that your videos should be highly well edited, that you spend a lot of time on them. In reality, that doesn't matter. You just need something that's good. I don't have anything that's good, so I'm working at doing stuff until then. That is my ideal. I don't have anything good or worthwhile, so instead I need to legitimately work on just skill building. I need to build up the skills to do something instead of just trying to wait for something to just happen. It doesn't work like that. Not at all. And that sucks. It'd be a lot easier if I didn't have to put a lot of effort out, but you do have to put a fair amount of effort out in order to become better at something. And completion is one of those things. Part of the reason why YouTube exists for me. Well, I have ideas, the video game channel stuff. I don't want to just, I can't just say I'm going to do all that, because I don't have an idea. I don't think it matters if I have like a billion million, fulfillion, not an actual number, but fulfillion, awful videos, because the thing that matters is what, you start making later or now or something. Everything's a long game. But yeah, it's another vlog. It is more or less talking about what I talked about here, but it kind of carries a slight tone of something else about, my mindset. Part of my mindset is I ground myself in reality by bringing my own attitude or expectations down, not making everything sound like it's going to be shit, but kind of like anticipating that computer broke, it's not going to be fixed in a day. I'm not going to be able to stream this weekend. It's just not going to happen. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm talking about it because usually this would give like a mental burden, which is something that happens a lot in trying to think of how to put it. Like the reason why I don't talk about most of my videos is because of that mental burden that even though no one's probably not watching, it does make me have this odd feeling of just stuff. Just you're doing something and now it feels like I have to go talk about it. It's the reason why the ELO video doesn't exist. And that sucks. I wish I could do that one. Also, I have figured out the idea of when doing videos that at one point you're going to probably just shift focus and start, like, this vlog thing was legitimately going to be a completely different, like, it was supposed to be going to be split into two different things, but then I looked at it and said, is this even relevant? Is this, like, relevant to be portrayed this specific way? And I'm starting to think no, because once I start writing it down, I'm like, no, I don't think so. And I think that's perfectly okay. It's okay to cancel videos. It's okay to cancel ideas, but now I just need to make the sheet to, log, hey, I actually canceled this thing. Which is something I probably want to take into account when I do stuff. Well, whatever happened. Let's see, what else? Bring this up. So, as much as I want to make, I do want to make larger stuff. I don't have a desire to, like, if I do a let's play thing, I do want to do it not the same as everybody else, and that is because of just I don't think there's any point for me to do it the same way as everybody else. It's not that it's bad. It's not that because it's popular or anything. One, I don't think the hugely personality-driven YouTube stuff or Let's Play stuff works anymore because that people are already there, and you have to do something that makes people really want to watch you. It's the reason why I like watching Cries, because he's not spastic. He's really like, whoa, and when he reacts, he reacts. And it's amazing. But he's also very just, calm sometimes until he gets angry, then he's like, holy shit. But yeah, the idea of doing a Let's Play is not a problem, but I would have to do it in a way that, I don't want to say unique, because I don't want to say, like, I have to do something that's unique. I don't care about doing something that's unique. I don't believe the idea that you have to do everything the way that they say. And if you do, and if I do, then I'd rather just not, have YouTube as a career thing. Because I don't care to do that. The idea that people talk about you have to do weekly videos, you don't, I don't believe. Now, you can't have, like, this thing. Like, fuck, I'm kind of getting off track of my own stuff, but, like, Pro Jared used to do these things called 1-minute reviews. They were really funny, but I'm pretty sure that they actually did take quite a bit of time to make it. It does take a lot more time to make a shorter letter, as one would say, because you probably spit out all the ideas and say, this is what I want to talk about, and then cut it down to a minute, find footage, record footage, do all this stuff. It probably, like, for 1 minute, a 1-minute review, it probably ended up taking multiple hours. And those hours might be either comparable or closer to one of his more longer Pro Jared reviews, or just standard reviews. Maybe. Or maybe it would be pale in comparison, but still, it's a minute of time. Those are what I'd like to call an edge case. the idea is novel, but the problem is that you have to, in order to like comparably get for like another video, you have to like get 10 times the amount of like actual viewership. Also, people talk about algorithms and shit. One, I don't know if people actually know what algorithms are. They keep on saying the algorithm. One, I don't know if like I'm pretty sure like a lot of it is just code. So first off, that's the one thing that really confuses me because I'm thinking when we talk about the algorithm, are we talking about in the sense of a finite sequence of steps that help make a program, or are we talking about the program, which is like an algorithm encoded into code, which is a solution encoded into code? Crazy stuff. Because I don't remember, but I think you can actually have an algorithm within code or something. Then again, it's not about how much you upload. Although the less you upload, the less likely people to watch. It's all about the viewers. How long viewers watch your stuff. Not about how many times they click, but how often they watch your stuff. If they watch everything you put out, then they will see everything you put out. Blah 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 blah. That stuff. But I don't know. I'm just trying to think because I know some people do like longer form reviews where like 20, 30 minutes, but they're also like highly produced and like probably like spend like maybe 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 hours. Animation, like I don't think people understand why animation was not a good thing on YouTube as much anymore because it would be multiple month projects for like a couple of minutes. It's these things that are like huge few level of minutes. That's the problem. Those are the edge cases. Animation was the edge case. People talk about like Domix and Jaden animates, like saying, is this possible resurgence of animation? If you can do animation that you can just kind of semi crank out even on a monthly basis, I think animation can work because those kind of animations take minimalism. They do less work. They cut out the superfluous like stuff. Although you can probably have people help you do more of the intricate stuff, the whole idea is you're not doing full color backgrounds. You're not trying to like emphasize like detail or anything. Not everyone emphasizes detail, but a lot of people do have like more, like less simplified character designs. I think that's a problem that a lot of people they understand it, but they don't really like look at it. I don't think you have to make like throwaway content if you don't want to. I don't think there's any problem with just making like I'm doing a stream of consciousness movie review. I don't care. Not everyone's good at it. It's the reason why I'm doing this because I'm bad at stream of consciousness. And when I get like sidetracked, I can't think. But regardless of all that stuff, okay, so previous videos, like I had a Rooster Teeth unboxing thing. I might want to just retroactively make a thumbnail, maybe. I think that one's actually doing moderately okay. Also, I think YouTube also changed its some of its design again. Yay! Although I went from 27 to 29 and then back down 24 views. Yeah. So the gap between there was sizable. It was only 3 minutes and 15 seconds. I don't mind. Like I think if you can, even if you release like monthly or semi-monthly or once every like 8 weeks, 6-8 weeks, and make the video long enough, like 5-10 minutes. I think that like 5-10 minutes is kind of a sweet spot. Like the different like 5 to 7 or 10 to 13 roughly. 15 can work, but it's when certain content, certain videos, I'd rather not say content, that's made ends up like make it longer and longer and long. That's very different where it's something that takes a large amount of effort for minimal amount of potential viewership. And the problem is those videos aren't bad, it just means that they need like several times the amount of viewership. It's not problematic, if you ask me. Well, the problem is that it is just it is purposely needing more things, right? I don't think that some of the people who upload as much as they do really need to upload as much as they do, and I don't really believe that people need a schedule. People say that they do because the most of us do, and I think you're selling yourselves short. You don't have to make throwaway content. If you're a news channel, you do need to relatively do everything and be on top of that. Although if you're a news channel, you might want to actually have multiple people so you don't kill yourself. I don't know. I don't want to talk about that, but I am talking about that. I just think what people call the exception, I don't think it's actually the exception, and I think that the idea that you have what you do is more niche or has a more hyper-focused set of people instead of consistent growth of the skies, it's a lot better than just consistent growth for the sake of growth. I don't think there's much value in just growing for the sake of it. Because not like I don't mind the idea of like broadening the demographics or whatever. But I think there's also a point where it's like, yeah, the reason why you do something is because enough people like it. Now I don't have that. I'm thinking about like my previous videos, which looking at it, I have things like, okay, I don't want to talk about like the because like, okay, we have the first quarter, we have several soloQue podcast episodes, and a lot of those in between because that makes the perfect sense. Season 7, which is 6 months ago, 5 months ago, good time to be a creator, which I still do think it's a good time to be a creator or a producer. 100%. Aishika to, yeah, just words. That's all I'm saying. Just a lot of stuff going on. Shit. I'm trying to think of how to actually word all this stuff. I don't know. Because I look at my system and I want to upload a video a month, and the problem with trying to work on the quarter 2 video is I have not actually taken notes during the months during that quarter. During April, June and July. Was it June and July? No. So April, May, and June. Those are the 3 months I did not actually take any real notes or any stuff. And I haven't even done that for July, and I have to. If I don't, then I'll be like really worse off. I didn't make any real progress on the video. I didn't even start it. I need to start that like really soon too. I have another idea for a video, but I'm not going to talk about that. It's more like a thing. It's something that will actually have gameplay footage, but probably sped up. I'm really bad at keeping on target. But I did the Ruby overlay videos because I did. Because I just wanted to. And that's a lot of it. I just want to do a thing and just make it done. It doesn't have to be good. It just has to be done. And I think there's a lot of power into just having stuff that just ends up being done. I think that's okay if I kind of like bend some of the actual rules that I have set up, like, oh, I need to finish this by a particular time frame. Well, I physically could not. And that sucks. So I have to like kind of give myself buffers, but I can't let it just completely derail my schedules or ideas. Hoping if I make a couple of things that it might also be able to balance out or buffer out. Whichever happens. I thought I was going to be able to like take it by the middle of this week. I don't think I'm even going to be done by the most I can aim for is to be done by the end of this week, and then hopefully start midweek on the next stuff, which goes into another topic, deleted videos. The one I have like legitimately just stopped working on and not gonna release is the ELO video. That is completely pointless. The reason why it is pointless is it doesn't really speak to anything. It doesn't say anything succinctly, or it does not say a damn thing about what I'm talking about. I have thought of the idea of doing a Hearthstone, like cards that are rotating out, you know, the first like actual like standard release set. Problem is, I feel like the exact way I framed it as, some people are gonna miss cards that are absolutely boring, which is annoying because like these cards were really good, and I'm like, grow personality and fucking find something that's actually interesting. Reno Jackson is not an interesting card to miss. Thorsan needs to fucking get out. He's been in the game for so long that he just does not need to be in there. It's beyond his need to be in there anymore. That's my whole thing. I would really enjoy it if we just... I'm not saying that like not wanting stronger good cards, but let's, because like it's the one thing that a lot of people like really point out, that people think about stuff either in a pure vacuum or this deck is bad, so let's look at it from how does this thing actually make the deck good. No, it doesn't. So we don't think about potential actual changes. We think about sliding this into current existing decks, and it's annoying. But the problem with this video thing is, I think I need to go for the more broader topic. Like, not so broad that that's diluted, but it does need to be more than just missing all of these particular cards. I could point out a few specific cards, like saying, well, it's kind of annoying that people are like, you know, really missing cards like Justicar Trueheart, because that card wasn't bad, but it did slow the game down, and now 30 Armor Warrior was like the way to play Warrior. I'm like, okay, that's fine, that's good. But it's time when you need to stop playing 30 Armor Warrior. And guess what? Aggro Warrior is a good representation of that. It actually became very annoying because of that, but to be honest, it exists. Better than just having the one archetype, although I don't think both archetypes can work at the same time, apparently. Whatever. And also talking about what I just did, how everything kind of exists in the vacuum of, well, this doesn't make Handlock any better. This thing doesn't fit in any current decks. Yeah, and we don't think about how current decks are like good or bad. I mean, there are times where you can look at something and say, well, overall, the effect as a standalone effect, or even as an idea of like a core, even if you build around this effect, it's not good. Or if you build around this effect, it has potential, but it's probably not good, or it could be good. You know? Also, the fact that people think about the idea of one expansion being like the end all beat all, just murder, 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 kill, kill, kill. Expansion for a character or class. You're not. They do say that if a single or two, like 1, 2, or even 3 cards or something like that, make an entire class like valid in a different way or much stronger, that might be open to, you know, abuse. Yeah, that's the whole thing. Um. Um. I'm trying to think about talking about this other video because it's something I'm still thinking about doing it. I might have to legitimately talk about maybe more broader concepts, cut the idea of issues on balance in League. Because there are issues on balance in League, but I'm not. I could make a video specifically about issues on balance in League, and my main gripe will be that Riot does not have a that Riot just kind of feel like they're actually scared of giving players, you know, strong stuff. Then again, sometimes they do give strong stuff, and they might be breaking the game in not a bad way. Although, but like I think that Cho'Gath's like slows on his Vorpal spikes is good, or at least the way it changed it was good. Maybe not. Maybe it was too much. But the fact that he can pretty much just like one shot some like squishier champions might not be a good thing. Whatever. But I don't know, because like I don't want to talk about the video at all, because the more you talk about it, the less you want to do it. I think I still might want to do it, but I think I need to throw out the current video and redo it. But the card rotation one out. Full-time streaming video is something I'm talking about because I do have like views on full-time streaming. It's not bad. It's just like it's not for me. Kind of like going into content stuff. Something I have heard from, I believe it was from Bernie from Rooster Teeth, that I think he said he talked to a lot of people. No, was it Bernie or was it Jeff? It was Jeff. One of those two. They were both on the same podcast. What happened was that said they want to, like, you know, people who do like say just gaming stuff, they don't have a desire to just do gaming stuff. They actually do want to do some like live actiony other stuff later. And that's kind of what I want to do. Like, I don't think any of this stuff will pan out for me. I just don't think I have like the chops. Even if I put a lot of effort and a lot of work into it, I think there's something that's ultimately like maybe my desire to just say I fuck the rules that people are saying you have to do this. I don't want to do 24-hour streams. I don't want to force myself to do weekly uploads if I don't feel like there's anything that's actually like, I don't want to take too long on something, but I don't want to like make something too quick just for the sake of it. Even though I am making the vlog videos because I need to get like, there's a difference between pumping out a video for the sake of it and finishing a video because you just need to finish something, because finishing something gets you in the mindset and the mode of finishing, completing. Which is a problem among creators of starting something, being inspired, but never actually following through, having bad and poor levels of motivation to follow through on a topic or a subject or a project. That is something that people just do. And it kind of sucks. So that's the one thing I'm trying to do. I'm not just doing this because I just want to do this. No, I want to get it out. And part of it is that I have started to delete just ideas, and I need to go cull through the list of ideas, and I'm thinking, yeah, I don't think full-time streaming is a thing that makes sense to me. Like, streaming's always seems superfluous, it seems secondary. Like, if you're an artist, it makes sense to stream stuff on there or stream people watching you play video games because like your main thing is the art. YouTube stuff, it makes sense that if you make videos, I don't like calling it content because guess what? YouTube is not an aggregate for a lot of content, it's just aggregate for videos. Different kinds of videos, but definitely just videos, not like art and stuff. But that's like the whole thing. If I were to start working on being, doing this, the whole point would be to transition out afterwards. Maybe not immediately, but at one point. Let's just see. What else? But yeah, that's one thing I think that some people don't do. Like, they either don't like write down ideas beforehand, or they don't trash bad ideas, or they can't find what are the bad ideas. I'm not saying I can, but sorry, my nose. I don't know. I just want to do stuff. I want to go into like a field that actually works for me. The idea of like being a 10-year creator isn't like unappealing, but I do think about stuff beyond. Like, I try to think about 3 months ahead only. Like, I don't try to like worry myself too much about the logistics of everything, but I don't do stuff only in the immediate like current run. Like, I don't think about how does this only affect me 3 months ahead. No, I might do something that legitimately like sets me, like, I didn't plan on actually upgrading my computer until I was out of college and got a job and setting up a completely separate computer. Now I have had to set it up, and now I have to transfer all my stuff and wipe my drive. Format it, I mean. Excuse me. So there's all that. And this is pretty much going off topic heavily, because I'm talking about the ideas of the videos instead of talking about the concept of the videos itself. Something is supposed to be meta in and of itself, but it's becoming more not meta. Back. And meta does not mean like outside of something, it means beyond something. So like the idea of like meta thinking is when you think about thinking, and that's a good thing when you're like, is my thinking correct? Well, are my ideas correct? Is my ideas about YouTube correct? They're probably not. But I just don't think like thinking like trying to do what everyone else is doing, trying to do the exact same thing. It's like maybe it might be more successful, maybe, but I might as well just do something the way I think I should do it rather than the way everyone says you should do it. And if I fail, I'd rather fail. Yeah, that thing. I just don't know. Um, I should go into another topic. I actually ended up talking far more than I thought I would, even though about a couple of things. I had another topic after this one, but I'm just going to cut it short because the idea was to kind of use that last one to pad stuff out. I'll be honest, but this stuff ended up, even though it wasn't like smart, this ended up actually more to talk about than I thought I would. And that's the whole thing about this podcast is just it gives me the ability to talk about random shit. It's supposed to be about video games. Nah, it's about just me trying to talk myself and just stuff. There's no such thing as like it's not that you can't do it. It's not there's no problem with doing a podcast by yourself. You just have like it. You have to just make it. It has to be different. You have to be careful about like how you kind of frame stuff. It has to be framed more about your opinion instead of an objective opinion. And again, objective opinion is kind of difficult in the first place. Anyways, enough of that stuff. I started playing Hollow Knight. Anyone who knows, and I will only refer to this in the sense that I just don't like what it says. What it is a lot of words. I do not like the what's the word? I don't like the terminology called, if anyone knows, I just don't like the term Metroidvania because it is like genre. It's like a genre that just kind of stopped. People said that some games are pushing it forward. Most games in the idea of what you call Metroidvania are basically sequels by a different name. They actually aren't expanding on stuff because people say this is exactly what creates Metroidvania. And that doesn't push anything forward because when you push something of genre forward enough, it starts splitting and creating subgenres, subdivides. And Metroidvania, as well as like roguelike, yeah. It's when you don't care about making those games that you actually technically push them forward and further away, where like naming a game after it is kind of problematic. It is problematic. I hate to admit it's kind of going into a different tangent real quick, but I hate to admit I hate the term MOBA. But if you think about it, some games that are, I don't want to say successful, I don't know if they're successful, but ones that end up doing it better aren't just the we copy the Riot model. They either might do something like Smite and do it over the back and just have better, infrastructure. Although I don't think my friends would play it because they're just into League too much. That's fine. It just looks like a lot of the infrastructure is like what you call vestigial, very old or very misguided. Like how runes were, you bought rune pages. That was stupid. You should never need to buy rune pages. That's stupid. Regardless. Then you have things like, I don't know if it was called Battle Right or whatnot, but things kind of took the ideas of what is a MOBA. And some things started off doing just the Dominion kind of just all these kind of different things, and the idea of like trying to how to change the problems that arise of like farming and la 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 la, all that stuff. So yeah, there's actually been people who've taken the idea of what is MOBA and saying, yeah, fuck it, let's just like kind of call it that, or it's going to be called that, but do something different. And that's the big thing. I think Crypt of the Necrodancer I think it's called a Metroidvania-esque gamer son. And it doesn't really seem to be as concerned. A second. Where's my mouse? Sorry. It doesn't seem, I don't believe it's as concerned about being a roguelite or roguelike. I think that's actually a lot of power because like what's the word? It's a game about birds. People call it a Metroidvania when the guys themselves said they weren't trying to make a Metroidvania. I think that's when you set out to like not make that game type that you might end up just making not a better one but like something like it. I don't know. Anyways, I approach like Hollow Knight is a game that I feel would technically encompass what people say is that a lot better than most other games. I think people said it's Souls-esque. I wouldn't say that at all because from what I've seen, Souls is about more methodical combat, not like dropping your all your resource or all your gold or something. No, Souls is not gold, but you know what I mean. So it's not like that. It's not hard. There's a level of difficulty to it, but you have a high level of mobility. From what I can tell, Souls is not about that. It's definitely Demure? No, not Demure. Has a dark aesthetic. It's fun. That's what I'm trying to get at. It's fun. I had a lot of fun with it, and I'm still playing it. So the only thing that kind of sidetracks me is I don't think there's like a real like roadmap, which isn't a problem. Just makes it kind of difficult to like navigate sometimes. But I guess that's fine. I think the game's kind of made to do that because I know that you can buy a map, and later, if you like, I guess if you beat the boss, you can buy the map at like a store. It's also not about giving you like what do you call it, big rewards very often or very frequently. Like you don't. I'm trying to think. I don't think I've actually fought as many bosses as you fight, like say in Symphony of the Night. Symphony of the Night is all like meant to be faster paced. Leveling up. There's no leveling up in this game, and I think that's a good thing because the problem with Symphony of the Night is the leveling up system, and I understand why it's there. The whole reason why you level up in the game is because is it Igarashi? Yeah, Igarashi said he liked the concepts of Zelda. By the way, Symphony of the Night is designed after Zelda, not Metroid. Metroid was designed after Zelda too, so those are just common design elements that exist in game space, not Metroid or Metroidvania. Bleh. So, he did not want you to have something and gain it temporarily. He just didn't like that idea, and that's the reason why he made you level up. Because if you kill an enemy, he wanted you to have a permanent gain from the enemy. Now he has said that in like an interview. That's the reason why you have a level up system. I think Hollow Knight works without it. Because the main thing you get is I think you can repair your weapon, or not repair like as in damage, but like your weapon starts off as a very crappy weapon. It feels good to hit people. It actually feels I want to say feels bad to be hit, but not like as in it feels bad as in it's awful, but more like when you get hit, there's actually a freeze frame, a crack in the screen, and it's like, oh no. You actually feel like it, and now you can kind of like react, and you feel like there's actually significance to being hit. There's also the not badges, they're charms, which are interesting because they give you like extra added effects, and you have to like selectively put them on and off. And there's actual what's the word? There are systems in there that actually cause you to not overexert. What's the word? Trade-offs. I think that's the word. I don't know. I can't tell the words. But one part of it is all about how, like, there are these actual charms in there that give you bonus stuff like bonus health or let you have bonus gold, but they're fragile. So if you die, they break and you have to get them repaired. That's awesome. And you can also technically put on, like if you have like a spare, like because you have to like have a number of like slots or notches or whatever. And when you put on like a spare, if you just like forcibly put it on, it'll be like, okay, fine, put it on. But now you take double the damage while you have it on. It's like, whoa, that's interesting. If anything, that might be something worth messing around with, although you'd have to be really good at dodging. Although I do like how you start off really, really weak because you just kind of like move and you do get like mobility as time goes on. I don't know, the game just feels fun overall. It feels good to kind of just find stuff, and it feels good to just do the go traverse around the area. I don't know, the game's just fun. I don't look at it fun because I love Metroidvania. I could give a shit less about the term Metroidvania or the ideas behind what people call Metroidvania because I don't think there's any unanimous idea. On the other hand, the games that tend to be in this have a tendency to be fun just by their nature. And I appreciate that. I want to play it more. I've just been lazy to play it more. But I do legitimately want to, start trying to be better at it. I don't know if there's a new game plus to it. I know there's new content that came out. Just recently, too. Maybe that's why. I think, did I buy? No, wait, no. I didn't buy it for cheap. I got it from the indie box, which, by the way, I got a Grub plushie. I was going to do like an unboxing thing for that, but I said, meh. I might still do it. Who knows? Maybe I might do a secondary playthrough and actually post it as a whatever you call it, a let's play. Or not. Actually, I could do a let's play, just make it all time-lapsed. Each one just be an area, however long the area takes, just time-lapse it to like about, I wouldn't say 10-15 minutes, just however much time it would take. But first I have to complete it here. And the reason why I do that is because I want to be knowledgeable about the game first. I don't like pussyfooting around. There is some legitimacy to going into a game blind for a let's play, but I don't think everyone does it that well. I don't think there's a correct way to do it. I just think a lot of people either don't cut out like some of the I'm lost aspect, or people don't know how to actively commentate. I don't know how to actively commentate, so I think, hell, me being silent might even be helpful because, what do you call it? The main protagonist, the knight, is silent. Thematic, whoa. And again, time lapse just to make it, not be like several hours of doing stuff. Could be a 100% completion run, but not like a speed run. But that's me thinking too far ahead of myself. Honestly, this is like growing quite a bit longer than I thought. I am just gonna cut it here. Give me a second. Shoot. I don't have anything to like really. I'm gonna play a song. Music? I think that a lot of the music is like continuous loop. But yeah, I say it is fun. It's definitely a pretty damn fun game. Yeah, I think I can give off a tribute or a cover. So that said, I'm going to do this. Sorry, I'm like really out of it now. Sorry. But thank you for watching and have a good night.